a lot of people's expectations. Having a new coach, having a new staff. This is a new era in Tuscaloosa. But so far, the Crimson Tide seem to look pretty familiar through 3 games.
I'll have more in a moment.
Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965 by Hal and Melissa Guthrie, Guthrie's was America's first chicken finger restaurant. Guthrie still uses the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe in every chicken finger they serve. Fresh, hot, and fast. Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers has been Alabama owned and operated since 1965, and Guthrie's is still growing strong. Come see us soon. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant, and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
If you missed yesterday's episode of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR with Christian Miller, Larry McReynolds, and Nate Oates, catch it on demand on the CTSN YouTube page. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Guthrie's. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And there you go. There you have it. We're back. We're live. We're brand new. And we are Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Theisen, Drew DeArmond, welcome in on a Friday morning. We've made it to the end of the work week. Welcome into the program, 256-576-4977. You can join the program. You can join the show any which way you want to on a Friday. Yes, we do got our Metro Diner Pick'em. We're going to get to that here in a little bit. We've not had one because we did not have one last week. I was not here, so we were not able to have one, but we will have one, and that'll get you in the running for our Metro Diner Iron Bowl feast. The week of the Iron Bowl, we're going to select 2 people. You're going to be able to go to Metro Diner with us, have breakfast, sit in on the Iron Bowl show, and be a part of everything over there in Metro Diner. But anyway, we'll get to that here in just a second. But 256-576-4977, you can be a part of the fun. We do need to thank, and I mean we need to thank, right out of the show, we're just going to get it out of the way. I know we had high school football last night. We had college football last night. We had NFL football last night. We've got all kinds of stuff. We got to continue to set the table for a busy college football weekend. Throw in some Major League Baseball along the way. We're going to try doing it all in 120 minutes. But yesterday, Drew and I headed over to New Hope for our Team of the Week presentation. And let me tell you, the fine folks at New Hope, they welcomed us with open arms. Head coach Michael Harper and company, great day. Stuart Evans from Bryant Bank made his way over there. We handed over a $500 check to the Indians for being this week's Team of the Week. But before that, Drew and I made a pit stop over at Dot's Dairy Den. And let me tell you, I know it's been a New Hope staple for forever. And Drew and I experienced Dot's Dairy Den on a whole new level yesterday. And I'm just going to say this, Bailey, it was fantastic. Fantastic. We had the cheeseburgers, the fries, and we both had a cherry shake, a large cherry shake that had little bits and pieces of cherry in it. Phenomenal. It was phenomenal. The burger was just outstanding. I mean, it was just outstanding.
So what you're saying is I need to go back.
You need to go to Dot's Dairy Den. You really do. And then, so I had the fruit. I had the fried pie. Drew went with the chili dog. But let me tell you what, it was fantastic. But thanks to the entire staff over there at Dot's Dairy Den for helping us have a fantastic lunch yesterday. It was well worth the trip over there to New Hope. Again, 256-576-4977. That's how you can be a part of the program. And we did say while we were over there, we did let there is coming up on Sunday, September 22nd. They're going to try to give hope to children through free local health care. There's a $25 entry. It's the 13th annual. Let's see here. It's the Jeff Jones Memorial Hunt. And it's the 13th annual. It's $25. This will get you into it. Guns will be distributed after background checks completed per Alabama state law. But all proceeds are going to go directly to the clinic. They really, it's the New Hope Children's Clinic. They really need you, and they really want you to be out there. It's the Jeff Jones Memorial Hunt. Barbecue lunch at 11:45. They got raffles. It's a sporting clay tournament and dove hunt to follow. And then Sunday, it's Sunday, September 22nd at the Hereford Farm, 66-8 Butler Mill Road in Woodville. So we said we'd mention that because they wanted us to mention that this
Good
morning.
friend Derek Gardner had been by Dots and had left us that information. We appreciate him very much. He's a big part of that event they're putting on. And Dots was amazing. If you want a cherry milkshake that is as authentic as you can get with real pieces of cherry in it, go see Dots. It is worth the trip.
You can combine your milkshakes. You can do.
We didn't do that yet. No, that's
found
next.
Out you could do that. You could take they've got 10 flavors, but you can take chocolate and peanut butter and mix it. You can take Oreo and chocolate and mix it. You can take
peanut butter and chocolate.
Yeah, you can mix it all.
Chocolate and cherry.
Oh my goodness, they were so fantastic. Great.
Banana and chocolate, whatever you want.
It's so good.
Yeah,
good.
It was amazing, and we appreciate the great staff over there at Dots Dairy Den for hooking us up, and outstanding burger. Fresh matters because they cook it right in front of you.
The patty is not a frozen patty.
No.
It's a fresh patty of hamburger.
It's a smash burger.
Yes, that they put on the grill and then they cook it.
And they put whatever you want on it. Scott had everything. I had
lettuce, tomato, onion.
I had the usual. I had the pickles, which I like to pick. I like to take off and eat separately, but mustard, ketchup, onions, and they'll grill the onions. I probably should have got them to grill them. I'll probably do that next time. And then, like Scott said, I had a chili dog that was amazing. And Scott went with the fried pie. So he had fried. What flavor pie did you get? Did you get apple?
I went with the apple. Now,
so you went with that. I thought so.
Could have added ice cream
for
to
$1.
The fried pie.
$1.
Yes, but
without going over on the Price is Right.
But I decided just to have I had the chocolate shake, so I didn't need ice cream with all of that.
No, I could. There's no way I could have. I wanted to eat a pie, but there was no way that would have been so stupid on my part.
They put that little drizzle on top of the fried pie.
I saw it.
Oh man.
But that milkshake was amazing, and so that was my limit. But it was astounding.
All right, so that all we were out there because of the team of the week, and the thing is, it's high school related, and you go from high school to college. There's guys that play on Friday night. Their dream is to play on Saturday night. We talk a lot about high school football. And we talk a lot about guys from our area that do great things on the college level. Last night, if you were watching South Alabama play, and if you were hearing the name Gio Lopez,
that's right.
You had to scratch your head thinking, I've heard that name before on Talking Ball. I've heard it before. You have, because he is from James Clemens.
He certainly is.
And last night, the South Alabama Jaguars were taking on App State, and Gio Lopez had himself some kind of night.
Play fake. Quarterback run. Again gets out of a missed tackle, and he's going to go to the end zone. Touchdown.
That was a 31-yard touchdown run by Gio Lopez, the former James Clemens Jet.
Mm-hmm. And as I tweeted out or posted on X, whatever you want to call it now, I was watching that game and I was like, hey, everybody, the James Clemens Jets alum Gio Lopez is balling out on ESPN right now. And you heard the crowd be muffled right there. They basically shut the crowd up early. It was a shellacking. He was 16 of 24, 154, 2 touchdowns, no picks. and on the ground. And if you've seen Gio, he's definitely a dual threat. 7 rushes, 105 and a touchdown. And they're 2-2 right now. It was, I believe, their first game in the Sun Belt, though, because conference play has just started. They lost their first 2 games, but Gio was hurt. So you have to kind of take that into account, that he missed the first, couple of games, the majority of the first 2 anyway. He missed one completely, and I think the majority of another. So they didn't have Gio for their entire season so far. When they've had him, they made a big deal, and it is amazing that they've set a school record for points per game for points scored in the last 2 games combined. They've just been on fire since he returned to the starting lineup.
So far this season, he's thrown for 843 yards and 9 touchdowns on the season. Has Gio Lopez. He's
they beat
57.
Northwestern State. God, I'm sorry, Scott. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. That was the
87-10.
Yeah, that's Gio came a fire in that one. He came a fire. It was like they just put a little bit of gasoline on, poof, and he was red hot. But so far this season, he's completed 66% of his passes. Or that was last night. He has 66% completion percentage, 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to say right now, we mentioned it yesterday. We mentioned the Rocket City Awards.
Right.
Put Gio Lopez in that mix for college athlete right now. As of right now, put Gio Lopez in that mix because he is having a fantastic season for the South Alabama Jaguars.
Well, and then even in their first game, he did play the majority of it. My apologies. They played North Texas, a very competitive game. They lost by 2 touchdowns. It was 52-38 shootout, and he threw for 432 and 3 TDs in that game and rushed for 62 and a touchdown. So he put on a show there. The one where he was injured was the Ohio game. They lost 27-20 to the Fighting Frank Soliches. And he did not play at all in that game. He missed it with an injury and came back. So that's just it's what a game last night for Gio, and the way that he played and coming back and playing at that high level. And then he was very super efficient against Northwestern State, as you would have expected. 4 TDs, no picks, 15-19, and they score 87 points. So amazing. He missed a full game, though. He did miss the second game of the season. I'm going to go ahead and say it. If he's available, they probably they beat Ohio. But again, that's just their first conference game, so they're 1-0. And Appalachian is really,
they've been the measuring stick in that. They've been the measuring stick.
They have, but I hate
while.
Preseason polls. But yeah, they were the pick in the preseason poll to win the league, and they're very good at home. We've already seen that. The crazy way they beat John Summerall and Troy over there with the mirror. And they even threw the only way they scored last night was on a Hail Mary at the end of the half, which was kind of but until the game was well in hand, and they just they kept their starters in to score with under a minute. But man, what a performance by South Alabama, and Major Applewhite's in his first year taking over for Kane Womack, and he's a former Alabama assistant and Alabama analyst under Nick Saban, and we know his story. Grew up an Alabama fan, named after Major Ogilvy. Grew up in Baton Rouge, was a quarterback at Texas. Great one for Mac Brown. He beat out the overrated Chris Sims, and was a better college player than him. And and maybe Major had a rough go when he became a head coach at Houston. It didn't go like he wanted it to, but the second opportunity here. And Gio, I always thought he was a great quarterback. For JC. Playing for Wade Waldrop, and dude's a real deal, man.
He's good.
He chose South Alabama, and it looks like a great fit. And what a start! And like you said, Rocket City Awards, here we come.
And only because of their offensive coordinator do I get to play this.
Oh,
hey guys, we got a lot of guys here. You come to practice and you don't make weight. And you tell me you don't eat anything. Well, I know the air ain't got calories, guys. Let me tell you this. It's about being a champion.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. He doesn't like to do it in front of me too much.
Today's practice was awful. And I'm going to tell you this. The day I can't get 2 guys to do it right, I'm going to go to the lake, sit on the ducks, and watch the ducks in the yard.
Their offensive coordinator is none other than Rob Ezel, former Athens Golden Eagle in Alabama.
That will live on forever. Because Coach Saban did finally go watch the ducks bleep in the yard.
Yes. But anyway, that's South Alabama's offensive coordinator.
Former Athens quarterback, went on to walk on at the University of Alabama. Then, as we know, coached there and moved on to South Alabama and has moved up to offensive coordinator with Major Applewhite, kind of moving up. They both moved up the chain, and he's coaching Gio Lopez and couldn't be playing any better. I mean, it's tough to go into Boone, North Carolina, and just shellac them to the point where they're showing people in striped yellow and black overalls pick up cans. Well, the dude was picking up cans. That's what he was doing. He was probably drunk, but I mean, at least he was doing it.
At least he was cleaning up. He left it how he found it.
Yeah, I mean, they were trying to clean up the hill over there where everybody went home because they were getting the hell beat out of them.
All right.
I mean,
it's 7:15. We got to get our first break in of the morning. But that's how we get you going. From reaction, there's some scores from college football last night and our breakdown from Dot's Dairy Den, which was, by the way, fantastic. How was your Carrabba's, though, too?
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
I had to wait. I ain't gonna lie. I was still kind of full, so I didn't eat it right away when I got home. I had to warm it up in the microwave, and but the soup, as always, the lentil soup was outstanding, and had a new pasta dish. It was some meatballs, ravioli, spinach. It was really good. It's on their new fall menu, everybody, if you want to check that out. And then of course they give you the bread with the olive oil, so that's always great.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, it was really good. I just had to wait for us a little bit because I mean, Dots was it was amazing. Everybody, just check them out. Just remember, their hours are a little different. They're not open on the weekend. They're not open on Saturday and Sunday, but they're open Monday through Friday, and it's usually 10 to 5. It's usually about that time that they're open, but they'll take great care of you over there. They certainly took great care of us, and we appreciate Derek Gardner as well. And please support their event coming up on September the 22nd on Sunday. Yep.
All right, let's get our first break in. When we get back, we'll get to the phone calls. We'll get everything going. It's Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Sounds like they pretty well cleared up that accident on 72 at Moore's Mill. That one had a serious injury. They had traffic pretty well blocked up there for a while, but everything's beginning to get back to normal. Got a wreck on Moore's Mill south of Stanwood. That one had 3 vehicles, no injuries. And we got one in Decatur, Gordon Terry near Greenway. That one reported with an injury. D&L Refrigeration repairs heating and air conditioning units for homes and businesses. D&L 256-652-1207. State license 08091. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner. From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Catch the Tide every Saturday. Hi, this is Chris Stewart of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Listen to Alabama football on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
There you go. Welcome back. Talking Ball. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. That song there. College Game Day. Coming your way on Saturday.
Yeah.
I forgot where they were at. I said it yesterday because I even said who the celebrity guest picker was.
It's Oklahoma, Tennessee, is it not?
Yes, that is it.
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton is the celebrity guest picker. That is absolutely
because if they
correct.
were at Michigan, USC, that SOB right there would be the guest picker with a translator.
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei 50-50.
Woo, 50-50.
50-50.
50-50.
I mean, and you do it going 6 for 6 with 3 bombs and 10 RBIs. It's pretty daggum good, man.
Yeah, he had himself a day yesterday.
I mean, if he's not MVP, I mean, just give it up. I mean, I look, man, I hate the Dodgers. Everybody knows I hate the Dodgers, but I mean, doing what he's done is pretty freaking impressive. Yeah. I mean, especially when they go back through the timeline and he didn't hit his first homer until 9 games in. And since that time, we all know, I mean, we're about 150, 151 games in, whatever it is. Or even I take that back, about 153. There's only about 9 or 10 games left in the season. For the Braves, I think it's 9, but you've only got about 3 series left. And that just means, over his last, 140-something games, that he's hit those, 51 bombs. I mean, he broke Sean Green's record from 2001. The Dodgers record was 49 for a season.
Yeah.
So
heck of a night.
Yeah. Crazy.
6 for 6, 3 home runs, 2 stolen bases, 10 RBIs.
Ugh.
First Major League Baseball player with a 50-50 season. First Major League Baseball player with 3 home runs and 2 stolen bases in a game. 10 RBIs is the most in a game by a Dodger and most out of baseball or the leadoff spot since 1920.
Yeah, they've been leading him off because he's stealing so many bags.
Second player with 6 home runs in a game with 5 for extra bases. 13 games this season with a home run and a stolen base, tied for most in Major League Baseball history. The 51 home runs, as you mentioned, most by a Dodger. 28 straight stolen bases without being caught.
Man!
Tied for the 3rd longest streak by a Dodger. Career high in hits with 6, RBIs 10, and home runs in a game 3. That was yesterday.
That's just nuts. That's what that was my response to somebody's question. They're like, "This is the best game I've ever seen someone play," and I was just like, "Man, this is nuts!" Like, who would have thought you'd go 6 for 6? And then his best friend stole $40 million from him or whatever the hell it was.
And then not even 2 dogs and a cat there to watch it in Miami.
Yeah. But they gave him a standing ovation, at least the 2 dogs and a cat. Yeah.
The guy, though, that did catch the 50 home run ball is not giving it back.
Well, there was one guy that missed it. I mean, he was inches away.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if a player got it or
somebody else got it.
Well, hell, I wouldn't give it
back.
Hell no, I'd be capitalism. Screw all these Democrats. I'm gonna sell the SOB and make me some money. Bunch of peckerheads.
Oh, let's go out to the phone line.
You'll affect somebody's mental health if you keep it. Shut up.
Mark from Spring Hill with us. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, morning. Hey, I want to get on this Metro Diner pick. I like to hang out with you guys.
Yeah. So this week's game, this week's game is Oklahoma and Tennessee.
There you go.
And I'm going to say
I've said 34-28 Tennessee.
34-28.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Grady's. I'm going to go Grady on this one.
So he's going with the beat down on it.
I'm going to go 45-17 Tennessee.
Okay, it's easy. I have to go with Drew because I don't even think Tennessee's going to win. So that means I would pick Drew, right?
Yep.
34.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. And are y'all going to be able to play Leonard's Loser today?
Yeah, we'll get it in at some point.
Yeah.
All right. All
Yep.
right. And one other thing, I was listening to a podcast. There's so many on Alabama now. I don't remember which one. But I thought these two guys brought up a good point. The Alabama hasn't showed what they call a 10 package. Basically, it's 4 receivers. Maybe no back. I don't know if it's no back. Well, I guess it has to be. Yeah, no back. And against Georgia, you can't do that with offensive linemen hurt like we've had. So, but they said they were just talking about how potentially prolific that would be if you could get 4 of their receivers on the field at one time. Just wondered your thoughts on that because I didn't see the Kentucky game, but I just don't know. I mean, Georgia clearly has a good defense. Offensively, I don't think they're superior by any means. So, your thoughts on this package, this 4 wideout package that I guess Alabama hasn't ran yet because of the linemen that are hurt. And I'll hang up and listen.
Well, I mean, they've had some they have had 3 and even 4 wide out formations, but a lot of times they still run the football out of it because Kendrick Law is such a great blocker. I mean, and I guess the main point Mark's trying to make is that, again, people have talked about what Kalen DeBoer said this week during their media opportunity that they haven't shown a lot of the offense and in some cases won't this year just because of the personnel that they have. They have a very versatile scheme. But, I mean, and I'll be the first to tell you, I don't go ahead and look at every formation of every play. I watch the game and I try to see who's in there personnel wise.
Right.
But and then they've used a lot of 2 tight ends, which you don't put 3, 4 and 5 receivers on the field when you do that. When you have Josh Cuevas in there with CJ Dupree, or you have Danny Lewis in there, Robbie Utes, they've used their tight end room. But I mean, if I went back and looked at it, through the first 3 games, every play, I'm sure there's been a few times where they put 4 wide receivers like Kendrick Law, Kobe Prentice, Ryan Williams, and Jeremy Bernard, but probably not much because again they've used both backs extensively, Jam Miller and Justice Haynes. I think there's even been a few downs where they've had both of them in there, so they've shown different things. And again, they haven't. And I'll just say, I don't think with the Jalen Milroe's running ability, and he has tailback type running ability in a lot of ways. You want a good perimeter blocking. Good perimeter blocking is, a lot of times you'll use 2 tight ends. But I will say, so they probably haven't done a lot of the 4 wide out formation and stuff like that. But one thing I've heard consistently, and I've watched the clips from Cole Kubelik, from other analysts out there that break plays down.
Right.
Alabama's been getting a lot of, publicity and a lot of praise and accolades for the way their wide receivers are blocking. And I think they're doing a great job, especially Kendrick Law, Emmanuel Henderson. I've heard that. And I think that's something Jamarcus Shepard, the new wide receivers coach, kind of demands. He demands that you guys are going to touch the football, but you're also going to help your teammates. And we want you to block, and in some cases block through the whistle.
Let's get out to Brandon real fast before the break. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Brandon.
So nobody sampled the hot fudge cake yesterday?
No, I mean, we talked to her about it,
Yeah.
when we were looking at the menu in its entirety. But trust me, Brandon, the milkshake was amazing. And then Scott decided to get the fried pie.
Yeah, I went with the fried pie
Pardon me.
instead because I'd gotten the chocolate shake or the cherry shake and
Yeah.
everything, and I was like, man, I don't need that much of a dessert.
Yeah, I had to have some water, by the way, when I was leaving. And their water is amazing as well. I had to get some ice water because I had to wash some of that down, man.
You didn't take the 2-liter with you?
Nope, didn't take a 2-liter. I had gulped down another drink, but I needed some water to wash it down on the way home.
Well, I'm sitting yesterday waiting on our homecoming parade to start.
Oh Lord!
And I'm watching True South on the iPad, which was absolutely amazing. And I get whacked in the face by a pre-float that came by with a box of Milk Duds, and ain't nothing like getting hit square in the face with a big old box of those when you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
And then my buddy standing over here with paper bags on his head. My wife told me, she's like, we're going to be outlawed again.
Oh,
the things
man.
that people do. But True South went to TNT Barbecue in York, Alabama.
Oh, wow.
And they went to Alabama Ribs in Gainesville, Alabama.
Gainesville.
And I'm going to tell
gotcha.
you, in southwest of Tuscaloosa, I will be making a trip to Alabama Ribs. I was so impressed with what I saw on that. You have got to watch that. That guy has got firewood stacked up enough to keep Alabama warm all winter.
Yeah.
The ribs and the food that he's got is absolutely amazing. So if you get a chance, check that out. It was absolutely amazing talking about Alabama barbecue.
Wow. Good stuff.
I'll have to get down there and try, yeah.
Okay, if you make your pick, it's either if it's more than what Drew says but less than what Scott says, how does that work out?
If it's more than what Drew says, it'd be my pick.
Yeah.
Because you can't go over. It's like the Price is Right, the final showcase.
Okay.
You can't just go over.
Right.
Okay. Well, then I think I will take Drew's pick.
Okay.
That's what I want to. That's what I want to happen. That's not what I think is going to happen.
Yeah. 34-28 Vols.
That's okay.
Yeah. I don't have the
And
Vols covered.
then even if you, so then we draw a name from this one, and you'll get a gift certificate or whatever to Metro. But everybody that wins it on the pick, their names go into the drawing. And so far we've got 10 or 11 names in there so far for the Iron Bowl breakfast. And we'll draw 2 names out of there, and you'll get to come to Metro Diner and feast with us on the week of the Iron Bowl.
Maybe they'll still have them pumpkin griddles, man.
Yeah.
Man.
No. What day is that y'all are going to do that?
It's either usually we go out there on a Friday.
Yeah.
Out there, so y'all be out there on Black Friday then.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay. Well,
wait a minute though. That's after. Is that the week? Is that the week of Thanksgiving?
I haven't checked.
So we may have to go out there on Wednesday, because usually we don't do a show on Friday, do we? After Thanksgiving,
we've sometimes, but not usually.
Yeah, we may have to go out there on Wednesday, the day before.
So everybody just hold on to your ass.
Yeah, we'll have to pick that date, but we'll be out there for that week at least some point.
Well, roll Tide and have a good dry Friday night of calling football.
Well, I hope you don't have to wear a bag after tonight, Brandon.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, that's the maddest I've seen my wife in a while. She was not having that crap at all. My daughter said, "Daddy, there's a man standing behind you with a brown bag on his head." I said, "Oh God."
Just remember,
oh boy,
there's no wife if she ain't a happy wife.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I looked at him. I told him, I said, "You are a Saints fan."
There it
Don't
is.
forget that.
Well, they are undefeated though.
Yeah, they're playing well.
They are.
All right, Brandon.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for the phone,
Brandon.
bud.
Appreciate it.
Let's get a break in. Louis LeBlanc. There's no need to wear a bag when you watch the Wildcats.
They're
they're
bouncing back.
Yeah, they bounce. Let's see if they can bounce back this week. We'll talk about the Westminster Wildcats, Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Heading into our Friday, it looks like we're in the work week, seeing plenty of sunshine. High temperatures warming into the lower 90s for the afternoon. Looking ahead into the weekend, it looks like we'll continue to stay sunny, warming into the low 90s. No rain in the forecast. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
They have cleared that wreck on Moore's Mill at 72. That one had a serious injury involved. Had major traffic blockage, but things are moving once again. Trying to wrap up a wreck on Moore's Mill south of Stanwood. 3 vehicles, no injury. And they're just clearing one in Decatur, Gord Terry near Greenway. That one reported an injury. 2030 Fast Track can make your clothes fall off. Allison lost 100 pounds in 7 months on the plan. A free quiz will tell you if it can work for you. 2030huntsville.com. Captain Eck in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details. Welcome back. 7:33 on a Friday morning. A Friday morning that sees us sitting at 66 degrees, says sunny out. You scroll through the forecast, and the little sun appears, and it appears to be around 81 degrees for kickoff. Probably
No
gonna dip
monsoon.
down around 75. No rain is expected this evening. Tonight should be a fantastic night for football and a beautiful night to see the Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats rebound from a tough one last week.
Yeah, I mean, there you're going to hear Logan Barandis and Jimmy Lay on the call, and they do a great job with Westminster Christian Academy Wildcat football, and this is a perennial playoff program. They are coming off of a 4A Region 8 title, and as we said last week on their palatial campus, it was a tough second half against a really good Randolph team. But when you have adversity, is a lot of times when your culture is put on display. And this is a program with a great culture. They have great resiliency inside this program, and we're going to catch up, courtesy of, as Scott said, our friends at Sports Med Surgery and Spine Center with Louis LeBlanc, who's been kind enough to join us this morning and talk some Wildcat football. Coach, good morning.
Hey, good morning, man.
Coach, I mean, I know you do a great job of communicating with your team, and you have a great feel for the pulse of it. Certainly, we knew this was going to be a huge game last week, and for a half, it was 15-9. It was anybody's football game. Randolph made some plays on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game in the second half to take the football game. What has been your message to your team after they, had a disappointing loss to a big rival, but there's still so much football left?
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, you're sitting at 3-1. You have a great opportunity to continue to have a great season. After the game, I brought him in the field house to talk to him, and I asked him. I said, "Guys, do I need to get the shoulder pad racks out? Do I need to start collecting helmets? Are we done?" And obviously, there was a resounding no. They knew the situation, and that one game doesn't define the season, and so. They do have great resiliency, and I just talk to them about the things that I always talk to them about, win or lose, that we literally can only focus on the things that we can control. And so, for us, that was the innumerable mistakes that we made in the game, whether it was a total of about 7 turnovers, if you count turnover on downs,
right,
interceptions and fumbles, talk about missed assignments or misalignments, missed tackles. I mean, those are all things that we can control, that we can get better at. And we didn't talk about the rain. We didn't talk about the other team. We didn't talk about referees or anything. The referees did a phenomenal job. We talked about the things that we can control, because that's the only thing we can fix. And so I left them by telling them I was actually excited about where we were, because I've been a part of teams that take a tough loss, and one that they felt like, you were in and could definitely have won the game, and being down 6 at halftime, even after all the mistakes in the first half, and then lose. I've been a part of teams that take that kind of disappointment and turn it around into something great. And so I told him I was excited. I was going to come back on Monday a better coach. I just challenged him to come back not only as a better player, but a better team. And so our whole focus this week has been on us and how we interact with each other and how we respond to adversity and success, and talking about our core values. That's been the basics, and the whole week. And kids have responded really well. I've had a great week of practice, and excited just to get back on the grass tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How did the week go then in practice? I mean, after all of this, because that's the thing. Lots of times, though, with 15, 16, 17-year-olds, you mentioned all that. Their memory can be very short. They have that ability to move on and look forward.
So I just believe as coaches, our job, and really as teachers, mentors, anybody that's in that coaching role, I believe our job is to show the people that we lead what is possible for them individually and collectively, and paint that roadmap from where they are at that very moment to where we think they could be, their potential, their everything that they could do, and then show them through our actions and behaviors that we as coaches are the ones that want to get them there, that we're going to take them to that realization. So that was the focus all week of what we thought about them, not what negative labels maybe they put on themselves or what other people would put on them, and what they projected about themselves after losing a tough game. We reminded them of what we think about them and where we think they could go, and how we are going to get there together. And so when we just focus on that, there's no time to wallow in misery, and we got to move on. No differently than if we would have beaten Randolph. We wouldn't have been, hey guys, remember when we beat them last Friday night? Man, that was awesome. We would move on past that and on to the next opponent. And it just takes a little bit more, I guess, focus after a loss. Everybody's wanting to relive it or wish they would have done this different or that different, including coaches. And so it was just something, a concentrated effort from the coaches to the team leaders to the youngest player on the team. I felt like everybody bought into that this week, and it was a great week. It was a great week.
And we're talking to Louis LeBlanc, head football coach of the Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats. And sometimes, coach, adversity can also open doors for others. You can discover things about your team. You can really concentrate on an area that you think you can get better. You got a game at DAR, and then you return home to play Hatton, and then you get a bye week. What areas are you hoping to maybe, or what adjustments? We're not trying to give away a game plan here, but with your team, what are you hoping to adjust and get better at in these next 2 weeks before you go on a bye, and then you really hit that home stretch of 4 games to end the regular season?
Well, playing in the conditions we were in, which were not terrible, it was just wet, and then having a new quarterback that's taken over for the first time as a starter, and then having a guy playing running back that never played running back and starting as a senior, and then playing an opponent like Randolph, there was a lot of mental adversity for some of those guys, and not just those 2 players, but the other new guys that are in new spots, and so having that experience under our belt and seeing that maybe individually, did somebody let conditions get to them? Did somebody want to fall back on that? And then realizing that was a poor excuse, and that there's nothing that should have impeded us. We've tried to work on that mental toughness this week, and showing mistakes and showing what we could have done better, and then working on what are the skills and techniques that we need to do to overcome those things. So we've worked on ball security. We've worked on making sure that people are in the right spots, and so that's been something that has been a mainstay for us, but maybe a little more focused this week. And so I think that's something that will not only help us for DAR, but obviously the rest of the season.
I'm sure you mentioned ball security. That's something that I think every coach preaches and stays on. What did you do different this week to try to work on protecting the ball?
Well, we work on it all the time, and we try to do wet ball drills and do things to simulate conditions. Nothing's going to simulate obviously a rain, but unless you're practicing in the rain. But I just always have believed you go back to the fundamentals, and you go back to the basics. You go back to the beginning. I'll never forget working for Coach Shula and Coach Saban, and we would get ready for a bowl game. And I remember the first bowl game I was a part of, I was like shocked that when bowl practice started, it was like fall camp started over again. We didn't do 2-a-days, but we went back to the beginning, and we started, putting in base things again and reminding them of the fundamentals. And I was kind of shocked because I guess being a high school coach for so many years, I thought, wow, you get over a month to work for an opponent. I mean, you're going to break down every single play they could ever possibly run and have every adjustment. And really, that wasn't the case with Shula's staff or Saban's staff. We went back to the basics, and I remember Coach Saban even talking about that. He's like, just how important it is to go back to the basics, to remind guys of what got them there and what's going to keep them moving forward. And I remember he said the same thing earlier in that season when we lost to Louisiana Monroe on national television. Man, it was a hard night, and but I thought Monday we were going to come in there and have all these crazy drills and conditionings and punishments and all this stuff, and we went to the basics. We talked about the things that make football players better and focused on those things. And I was amazed, to see that was the formula. And so that's what we did. We went back to the things that got us here and the things that are going to take us forward. And plus, I think if you come in and you overemphasize something, you almost could create a block in their mind. You're like, man, I must be really bad. We had to change our entire practice up to fix this one area. And oftentimes the solution is a lot easier, a lot simpler than we think. It's more of a mindset than it is a repetition thing. So anyway, that's what we focused on this week.
Well, and you mentioned mindset, and certainly the DAR program is rebuilding, and it'll be probably more about how you guys handle yourselves than you certainly want to take care of the opponent, and you've watched film. But it's a program that's had success in the past, but right now they're trying to reestablish a culture under Matt Putnam, who very well, who's been in this region. Talk about what you guys need to do to get a win tonight in a place. It's a beautiful place to compete and watch a game. It's a beautiful facility over there. They take very good care of it, but it's again a program trying to regain its footing.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that one of our coaches said this is probably his favorite place to go play on the road, that it's just a great atmosphere. It's a nice facility, and you can tell the people really care.
Yes.
And it's a good football Friday night. And so with that being said, we've been there. We've played them many times over the years. And so we're familiar with that. We're familiar with the setup. And this is a great week again to say that the most important team for Westminster is Westminster. And so, I mean, we show them the film. We talk about our opponent. We never downplay an opponent. We never talk up an opponent because we truly do believe that the only thing that we can control is us. So we have to focus on us. I get terrified of teams like this because they're hungry and you guys start putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and you never want to take a team lightly ever. And as you mentioned earlier, when you're dealing with 15, 16, 17-year-olds, it's really easy to do that, and so we try to beat that mentality way back in the summer, where we work hard every day because that's what we're called to do. And it doesn't matter that it's June and our first game is months away. We're going to come to practice and give it everything we have because that's what we're called to do. So when we do get in these weeks, hopefully that mentality of, well, coach, they still haven't gotten their first win yet, so this is going to be an easy week. Hopefully we've stamped that out, and that's not even a factor for us. And or we beat them last year, so we'll probably beat them this year mentality. That never enters the equation for us. And I know every young man is different. You don't know what's going on in their minds, but all I can do is create that culture of how we work when we're together. And hopefully collectively, coaches, team leaders, and whatnot are reinforcing that mindset that it doesn't matter who we're playing, that it's a state championship game or jamboree. Our job is to prepare every day to be better today than we were yesterday and get ready to be better tomorrow than we are today. And if we can do that, then I think we're going to be okay. And so that's been the mindset, that's been the mantra, and we try to be as consistent as possible with that. So as those 15, 16, and 17-year-olds don't pick up on something weird, we're like, oh, wow, coach came out of the gate pretty hot today on Monday's practice. I guess that's because we're playing the number one team in the state. No, I need to be that hot every Monday. I need to come out ready to make them the best they can be, no matter who we're playing, so that they don't pick up on any of those unusual cues or things that I may be doing different. And I owe them to give them my best every week, no matter who we're playing. So Putnam is a great coach. He's going to have those guys ready to go. It's the 100th anniversary of their school. It's their homecoming. There's a lot for those Patriots to play for, and a lot for us to go defend against and deal with. So it's going to be a pretty electric atmosphere over there. Everything they're celebrating and everything that they want to happen tonight. And our job is to go in there and deflect all of that and focus on us and what we do and why we do it.
What's an X and O key then for tonight?
Well, X and O key. Defensively, got a couple of guys that were banged up. So there's some new guys in some positions there that we'll need to see make some plays tonight. I told you guys last week that for us, special teams has to be an edge, and that edge was pretty dull last week. I think the best part of our special teams was the punter, and that's not a good night. And so we've got to reestablish that. We got to sharpen that edge back up. And so that was disappointing. I really believe in special teams and what it can do for both sides of the ball, and not to mention the effect it has overall on the game. And so we didn't hold up our end of the bargain in special teams. So X's and O's special teams wise, we have to be tight. We have to be obviously protect the ball, and we need to affect the game with returns and blocks and flipping the field with kicks and pinning people deep on kickoffs. That has to be a focus every week, and especially after a disappointing week, we got to know that we can bounce back and reestablish that.
Great stuff from Louis LeBlanc. You'll hear them on Zone 5. It'll be Logan Barandas and Jimmy Lay on the call. And you'll be able to hear Westminster Christian Academy football traveling to DAR, that beautiful campus. Coach, safe travels and good luck. And we always appreciate the time talking some Wildcats. We're looking forward to a bounce back.
Man, thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you, Coach.
Louis LeBlanc, Westminster Christian Academy head coach, leading us into break. When we come back and wrap up Hour 1.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Had an injury wreck in the 5800 block of Highway 72. That puts it near Little Cove Road in Gurley. They reported injury, but it looks like they have now canceled Himsey. Had one Gordon Terry near Greenway Drive in Trinity. They have cleared on that one. And Moores Mill south of Stanwood, 3-vehicle, no injury wreck there, should be clear. Expert heart care backed by advanced technology. When you need cardiac care, you need the heart doctor. Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialist on Bob Wallace Avenue. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
Y'all the best, man. Hey, just don't make sure I don't get that Moron plaque.
No, sir. Not at all.
Thanks, Coach. Oh, Ronnie Stapler joining us. No, Coach, you are not going to get the Moron of the Year plaque.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball on 97.7 The Zone.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888
Right, Sparky.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Welcome back. Got to get up early in the morning sometimes. Got to just get up early in the mornings. Some people. Anyway, Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Welcome back into the program. And each and every Friday, we do get from our good listener, Mark from Spring Hill.
We do.
And let's see if I can find it here. He did send in this week's Leonard's Losers.
Yes, he did.
And I do have it here.
Mm-hmm.
I had it all downloaded, and now it's
computers, man.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to get to it here in a minute.
Yeah, because, I mean, Alabama's off. They're one of their first 2 bye weeks, but there's some big games. Like we've already been talking a lot this week about Oklahoma and Tennessee, and that's the kind of the game we're picking this week for the Metro Diner.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Auburn and Arkansas.
Speaking of that, let's get out to Sean.
What's up, Sean?
Good morning. Hey, I need a little help.
Okay.
I've got a little 16 parlay.
Okay.
And I've got a handle on everything except for this Nebraska-Illinois game. Help me out with that.
Now
that's a tough one.
So where's it being played?
I promise I won't hold you responsible. But
is it in Champaign?
Hold on, let me check.
Honestly, I don't know where it's at.
Because I was looking early at the South Alabama and Geo, and that's what we were talking about. Because we should. I mean, he played so well last night, and really when he's been healthy this year, he's been probably the best.
That was an amazing game.
We'll see, and it's tonight, Scott. So it's
tonight.
It's in Nebraska. I would take the Huskers here. I think they finally have a quarterback. And to me, it's basically I think it's basically a pick 'em.
7.5 point Nebraska game.
It is because it's not even giving me one on mine.
7.5
so it is
Nebraska with the over under at 42.5.
I did see the over and under.
This is a straight up parlay. No spread, no nothing. So
I would take Nebraska just because they're at home.
I would take Nebraska to win, but it might be like a 30-21 type game.
That's what I thought. I was going to take Nebraska, but I was going to get
you. See who Illinois has beaten. Illinois has beaten Eastern Illinois, Kansas, and Central Michigan.
And Kansas is supposed to be decent, and Nebraska beat Daddy Ball.
Nebraska's gotten wins over UTEP, Colorado, and Northern Iowa.
Colorado.
Yeah.
My alma mater. 34-3.
And they got Dominic Riola. I mean, I don't know a lot about Illinois except for the fact that they've got the former QB, Luke Altmaier, who I believe at one time was at Ole Miss, and he's their quarterback now. And we know Bert Bielema. I call him Bert. Yeah, he's the head coach. So,
And Nebraska's got Raul that was at Georgia for a little while.
Yeah, well, he wasn't even really – he never enrolled there, but he was committed. You're correct.
Right.
So.
I mean, just because it's at home, I would lean Nebraska. If this was in Champaign, I would probably go Illinois.
I would probably – it would probably be about a 3-point pick for Nebraska, and Scott's right. You might go Illinois there. But being in Lincoln, I think I would go with just to cover a backdoor cover, maybe a late field goal to kind of seal it. But I would take Nebraska.
Yeah, that's the way I was leaning anyways. But
yeah,
that's the way I'll go. All right, now as far as the Tennessee-Oklahoma game, I want it to be Drew's pick. I do, but I'm going to take Scott.
Look at that. See, there we go.
He's going to take the beat down over there in O-Town.
I just don't have any. I haven't seen anything out of Oklahoma that says anything yet to me.
Right. And they've been banged up, but you make a point there.
They have, and if they get some of them back, how healthy are they going to be?
Yeah, that's the key. That's a big question. All right, Sean, thanks for the phone call.
Trust me, I hope the vomits just puke all over themselves. I mean, I picked them to win, but I don't ever want them to win. I hate them.
Oh, all right. See, now you know how I feel about Illinois. I don't want Illinois to win tonight either.
Well, we know how you feel about Iowa State. You made
Oh,
that
I
claim
can't
yesterday,
stand them damn things.
too. Or Minnesota. Minnesota, the state of Minnesota.
I mean, Iowa State, come on. Give me a break.
I know that sucked. You guys lost by 1. You led the whole damn game. You're up 13-0.
Hate that. Oh, it's a Cyclone State now for a whole year.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Major League Baseball, the Atlanta Braves are in Miami tonight as they begin a 3-game weekend series with the Marlins. It'll be Charlie Morton getting the start. He's 8-8 with an ERA just over 4. Valente Belozo will go for the Marlins. He's 2-4, a 3.70 ERA. Atlanta minus a 1.5 on the run line, minus 120, while Miami getting a 1.5 are at even money. On the money line, the Braves minus 200, Marlins plus 165, and the over-under sitting at 8.5 with the over minus 115 and the under minus 105. For VSiN.com, I'm Tony Desiri, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Welcome back, Hour 2, Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Big thanks, SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, for helping us kick off hour number 2. Remember, they're the official training providers for the Rocket City Trash Pandas and the UAH Chargers, which, by the way, coming up on Saturday night over inside Spraggins Hall, you have the Charger tip-off, which gets underway at 8 o'clock. So if you want to meet this year's UAH Charger men's and women's basketball programs, head on over to Spraggins Hall Saturday night, 8 o'clock. They've got a 3-point contest, dunk contest, introductions to the team and everything. That'll get underway 8 o'clock Saturday, Spraggins Hall. It's free. Get on out there and meet the Chargers. But tonight on 97.7 ESPN The Zone 4 and Talk Radio WZZN.2, it's so big we're putting it on not once but twice.
It's a huge 7A Region 4 game.
Yeah.
And both these programs, Sparkman looking to have a 2-game winning streak. They got off the schneid last week, did a good job, beat Albertville in 7A Region 4 after playing a really tough first 3 games, a tough schedule had the Senators played, against Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa, good football program. They also had tested themselves against a really good Spain Park team under Coach Vakakis. I think that's still undefeated.
Yeah.
And then they had the heartbreaker against Austin where they rallied. So this is a talented athletic team, but they're taking on a Huntsville Crimson Panther team under first-year coach Jimmy Gay, who played well the first 3 games, got 3 wins out the gate, including against their big rival Grissom. And we brought you that action. They won at Hazel Green on the road. They beat May Jemison. But then they've had their first adversity of the season, playing on the road in tough weather conditions at James Clemens in Madison City School Stadium. It was a 32-7 setback. Now their culture, which is being reset by our next guest, is going to be tested tonight. They won a very emotional overtime game over Sparkman last year that helped them make a late run in the season where they nearly made the playoffs. So this is a fork in the road game for this team. And I know that they're looking forward to the challenge tonight. And Coach Jimmy Gay has been kind enough to join us and talk some Huntsville Crimson Panther football. Coach, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're doing well, Coach. And I mean, adversity is a lot of times that's how you see how your culture is being set. We talked about it with Louis LeBlanc. He's in year 9, so he's been with this program and he's had a lot of sustained success there. You're trying to reset things at Huntsville High, but you've also won a state championship at Parrish. You've had a lot of success at Cordova as a head coach. You were part of Scott Bazin's program at Muscle Shoals, where you guys had a strong culture. Talk about building the one at Huntsville and trying to because a lot of times when you have a strong program, it's how you react to adversity, because very rarely do you go undefeated during a football season. It's a long journey, a lot of hard work. But talk about trying to bounce back after a tough one against James Clemens last week.
We're going to do what we do. And, I think most of these kids are going to respond. But, there's going to be some that's not bought in all the way. But I'm going to be interested in seeing how some of how they do come out and respond this week. We've had a good week of practice. We're not going to change anything, as far as how our workload or how we approach the game. We know it works. We just hope that we go out and give good effort on Friday night.
Well, Coach, if you put in the James Clemens film and you watch it, and I'm sure you have, and you've kind of taken things away from it, what did you take away the most, though, from watching that film?
Well, to say, offensively, it's a repeat of, the first 3 games. You can't turn the ball over, 3 times, average 3 turnovers a game on offense and expect to beat a good football team and make mistakes that are in crucial situations, bad snaps, that type of stuff.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You, especially with offensively, what you guys do. You run the football. Jackson Spencer's done a great job doing that, but there's not been a lot of explosion out of the running game. There's been consistency, but again, this offense has made some explosive plays. They did against Grissom, but they didn't make a lot last week, and I think that was a big key. And then you guys had some opportunities, Coach, early in the game on some 4th down situations where maybe the offensive line, the execution wasn't there, and the margin for error against James Clemens, there wasn't a lot. I mean, you even talked about it with us last week before the game, that you guys would have to maximize opportunities. And early on in the contest, and especially near the end of the first half, a couple slipped away. And against a really good football team, that's what happens sometimes.
Oh, there's no doubt, and if we don't correct those mistakes this week, the keys to victory will never change for us. It's holding on to the ball on offense, gang tackling on defense, and no stupid penalties. Mm-hmm. That's the keys, our keys every week. And, hopefully that we'll get there. We're making strides every day, but it takes, it's a football season is long and hard. And you got to have a bunch of buy-in. And generally when it gets a little tough, and we've seen it this week where we've had a few that folded up, melded in, and which that'll help us out in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, and Coach, that's the thing too. I mean, we sit here and we're talking, and every game's big, every region game is big, but when you look at it and you look at where we are this point in the season, I mean, this is just game number 5. I know we've still got 5 more to go and everything else. There's still the back half of the season, still got to buy. But we're only in game 5.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah. Halfway point. And I'm proud of our kids, how they've worked and, they're trying to fight through this. We all are. We're very disappointed, but we know we got to come out and perform on Friday night. It's as simple as, just do your job. That's our theme right now, is just do your job.
No question. And Coach, you do have a bye week coming up after this, but it would be huge to get to 4-1, 2-1 in 7A Region 4, and then you'd be able to heal up, because I know you got a little banged up this past Friday night. The weather conditions weren't easy. You had some guys that that need the rest, because again, this will mark the halfway point, and then these guys know coming up, if you're 4-1, 2-1 in 7A Region 4, every game will be super important, and you'll have a 5-game run, because as you've told us throughout the early part of the season, the goal is to get to the 7A playoffs in year one and set that as one of the standards or the pillars of this program. You certainly want to win in the playoffs, but first you got to get there.
Oh, there's no doubt. And you get there by approaching each game week by week. You don't look ahead. You go out and you practice hard and you try to correct the mistakes from the previous week. And, that's what, as a coach, I'm a little disappointed in myself that we've not made those corrections. Because it's been the same thing week in, week out. You just can't keep making the same mistakes over and over. We might be better off just lining it up and punting it every time we get the ball back.
Well, Coach, you look at tonight's game, you get a Sparkman team, Joe Davis Stadium.
A little bit different venue.
Which, by the way, I know I don't know if you've ever had a chance to coach in there. It's a beautiful venue tonight, by the way. It'll
refurbished.
Be a beautiful venue. But just take a look and kind of break us down some Sparkman for us. What have you kind of noticed on film a little bit, and what stands out to you the most?
Well, they've got a very good athletic. I mean, they are athletic, and they make some of those kids. If you don't keep them, put a hand on them and wrap them up, they'll make big plays. Defensively, they get after you. Offensively, they're going to run and throw the ball. They're not scared to throw it down the field. They're just very athletic. Very dangerous football team. They've got a good football team.
And then, Coach, I know you've just mentioned to us offensively the same mistakes they've got to be cleaned up. Of course, that's protecting the ball, cutting out the procedural penalties. But what do you? I know those are two areas of big improvement. But what did you see out of your offense positively after last week? I know they did make some plays early. They drove the football. They had a turnover on downs deep in James Clemens territory that could have changed the game. But what did you see positively that you can kind of build on to take into this week?
Well, we did cut out some of the procedural penalties.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was, we did make an improvement in that aspect of the game. I thought we got a little bit better defensively in certain spots. We just got to fit better, maintain our gaps, that type of stuff. But as far as offensively, we did, we cut down on the penalties. As far as jumping off sides and having a couple people in motion at the same time, we did cut out a lot of those type of penalties.
Coach, are you at this point? How much of the playbook are you guys able to? I know we talked a little bit ago about just being week 5 and everyone's still trying to get on the same page, still kind of learning and adapting. But how much have you been able to open up the playbook now as the season kind of goes along?
I don't know if we've opened it up. I think we've limited it a little bit more. We've got to adjust it to what they're able to do. And, we're not going to be very elaborate in our run game or very elaborate in our pass game.
Well, and then, Coach, with what you got to do tonight. I mean, this is a big game to bounce back, and confidence is an important thing in football. What are some of the keys or a couple of the keys that you're trying to see tonight to try to get a win with you guys being the home team over at Joe Davis Stadium against a talented Sparkman team that's hungry as well? I mean, both these teams are looking to go into next week with a lot of momentum and positioning themselves for the playoff chase in 7A Region 4.
Oh, we just got to go out and start fast. Take care of the football and tackle. Jack Maservi, he's not going to play this week. So, we've got to make sure that we're very sound in our kicking game. Miles Dane will be taking over that spot right now, and he filled in over at JC after Maservi went out. And, that's a big loss for us. But Miles, he stepped up. He stepped up to the plate. I was very proud of him, how he responded to that. But, yeah, we just got to take care of the ball, make sure we're sound in the kicking game and tackle.
Looking forward to it. It'll be myself and Michael Seal on the call. And, of course, you can also listen to Joe Hunk and John Abraham. We're going to have two teams out there, two broadcast teams bringing you this from two different perspectives. We hope you, if you're a Huntsville High Crimson Panther, please tune in for us. We are super excited each week to bring you the growth of this program. Certainly, despite the setback last week, as Coach is saying, I think there was some growth. And we're going to see if they can bounce back and respond. And this will be a huge opportunity for the senior class and some great young players. It's a young football team with a lot of talent, especially some young defensive linemen that have played very well. And they are definitely going to be counted on tonight against the talented Sparkman team to go out there and make some plays and have a chance. And the one thing, Coach, I will say, your defense has created turnovers in just about every game. That's going to be another big factor tonight.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, you got to win that. That's one of the stats you really need to win right there.
Really is, no question.
Best of luck tonight out there, and hope you enjoy Joe Davis Stadium.
Yeah, safe travels, Coach.
I appreciate it. Go Big Red.
Thank you. That's Jimmy Gay, and it's going to be a big game tonight, Scott. So there's a lot of implications here because if you're 2-1,
it's huge. Yeah, you don't want to be 1-2. At this point,
because
what you do is
you need a lot of help. Then
yes, you put the help in other people's hands.
Right,
if you go 2-1,
you got a scoreboard watch.
You control a little bit of what you can do to get into the playoffs. And James Clemens right now, James Clemens and Austin have put themselves in a good spot. James Clemens 2-0. Austin coming off a bye week. They're back in action. They look to go to 2-0. Florence is sitting there, so. You don't want to be 2 games behind the leaders at the end of the night. All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, we will get you to Leonard's and Losers. We've got it. I've got it queued up. I've got it ready to go. We'll be back.
Okay, Percy.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got an injury reg reported at Bob Wallace and Patton, and we had one at 72 in Little Cove Road near Gurley. That one reported with injury, but they canceled Himsey. They may still be trying to get it wrapped up. No hose, no mask. You can ask Dr. Sandman, that's Dr. Sandlin, for the medically proven benefits of the Somnodent for sleep apnea and for snoring. Dr. Sandlin, 350-CARE. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find him online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
Embark on a flavorful journey at the Brewers Cooperative, located within the vibrant community hub of Stovehouse in Huntsville. Their brewery isn't just about crafting exceptional beers. It's a destination where culinary delights and local brews harmonize. Whether you're seeking a laid-back lunch or a lively dinner with friends, their diverse menu has something to please every palate. And with a commitment to quality and a passion for innovation, they invite you to savor the unique flavor of Huntsville's craft beer scene at the Brewers Cooperative.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
And now a man who knows what you ate for breakfast.
Time now for the biggest thinker of them all.
He knows it all. He is Drew DeArmond. Listen to Drew and Scott Tyson weekday mornings. It's Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back. Talking Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Welcome back into the program. And I told you we would get to Leonard's Losers.
Yes.
I told you we would get to it. I've got it loaded, and all I got to do is hit play.
Welcome to this edition of Leonard's Loser. I'm Leonard, and Percy Peabody's by here. We got our smart little machine and smart pill. I went 2-1 last week, looking to improve on that to 3-0 for this week's picks. Our show today is sponsored by 97.7 FM, your only sports radio station in North Alabama.
Dude, he put that in
The clash of this iconic Jordan Hare Stadium on Saturday afternoon will take two coaches both needing a chance to make the playoffs. Somebody's got to win. The Hogs have historically struggled away from Fayetteville, particularly in intimidating environments like they're going to face on Saturday afternoon. But it will be the Tigers that will make a late fourth quarter turnover that will send these Hogs back to Fayetteville singing Soo-Wee Pig. Leonard's Loser and a nail-biter, Auburn. Tennessee at Oklahoma. Now, the Volunteers embark on a challenging road trip for a primetime showdown against the Sooners at Norman. The Vols have faltered in recent years away from Neyland Stadium, particularly against ranked teams. The deafening atmosphere of Oklahoma Memorial Stadium on Saturday night, fueled by a passionate crowd, could prove overwhelming for the Volunteers. The Sooners will capitalize on this, scoring a late touchdown, sending the Vols to Knoxville with a bitter taste of defeat. Leonard's Loser and a heartbreaker, Tennessee. Miami at South Florida. The Hurricanes travel to Tampa to face their in-state rival South Florida Bulls. Miami enters the game as a heavy favorite, but as history has shown, rivalry games can be competitive. Just ask Alabama. The Bulls, under the radar, are quietly building a competitive program challenging anyone in college football. And let's not forget, this game's at home. So come Saturday night, under the lights, the Bulls will stun college football, and both goalposts will be uprooted and carried out into the ocean, celebrating what embarks a shakeup on Shake-Up Saturday that no one saw coming. Leonard's Loser and a shocker, Miami. Now, until next week when I have more losers, get us out of here, Percy.
I'm telling you what. He's never stuck his neck out further than this.
You don't think?
Mark will either be catcalling everybody on Monday, or I don't know if we'll find him, but he went against the
He went
spread,
against everything,
man. All three games, man, because Auburn has been a 3-point. It's moved down to 2.5. So Auburn is a slight favorite at Arkansas. He took the Hogs, and and Auburn will be hosting at Jordan Hare Stadium. So they're a slight favorite, but he took the Hogs to get the road win. He's been all week, I'll give him credit for this, on every show, He's been staunch about the South Florida Bulls, even though they're about a 16.5, 17-point underdog, that they're going to shock Miami and Tampa. And then we just heard he took Oklahoma at home at Owen Field to take
Beat
out
Tennessee.
Tennessee. So
look, what scares me about the Auburn game, here's what
Right.
scares me about this one is I think Auburn has the ability to win it. I think they got the talent to win it. But Auburn's defense has gotten off to slow starts.
Yeah.
They've made adjustments at halftime, and they did it against New Mexico. But if Arkansas's offense comes out there and Auburn isn't able to find an answer defensively, especially in the first half, I'm wondering if it's too much for Auburn to overcome.
Well, here's what what I'm predicting here. I haven't really gone on the record and picked this game. We already know I picked
You've already picked Tennessee
34-28, just under the number. I picked the Vols to win, which makes me want to puke. But
I thought you had orange underneath that shirt. I thought you were secretly wearing orange.
Hell, the last time I wore orange was when one of my good childhood friends was the head baseball coach at South Pittsburgh, and I really wore more black than anything. I told him I really
Tennessee
couldn't
wears
wear
black now too.
I know. Sometimes at funerals for their own stuff, but I'll just say I've already told Mark I can't pick South Florida. I just can't go there. I got to believe Mario's not going to lay a turd here, and that they're going to win the game and win it somewhat impressively. I think South Florida can stay in the game, no question about it. I don't think they're going to get embarrassed, but I would probably take the Canes. I think it's maybe slightly under the number. I'd probably be something maybe like a 40-24 type game.
You think it's that big?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's 16. It's just under the number, 40-24. I think South Florida will score, but Cam Ward's going to be hard to stop. I like the Canes in that game. And then Auburn, I think this is going to be a classic game. I think Pittman's team will play well. I am, like you, Scott, I'm worried a little bit about that Auburn defense and what we saw last week, but I'm going to have Towns Magoo having his first moment as an Auburn kicker and kicking a field goal in the last play of the game to win it 30-27. So I'm going to take it's been around 2.5 to 3 right now. That would be slightly over the number.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the Auburn Tigers and getting this win at Jordan-Hare.
Yeah, I think they're the better team.
Yeah, I think they are too.
I just think if secondary wise, defensively, they've got to get off to a better start.
Craig McGehee is not impressed with this. He says the Leonard's loser is Leonard.
Craig McGee.
I just gotta give him. I mean, he's contacting us via social media. He's not agreeing with Leonard's losers.
We put it out there. That's why we put it out there.
Get reaction.
It does.
I'm not agreeing either. I guess. I mean, I'm picking the games, and and again, when Mark's picking these games, he's picking just straight up winners and losers. He's not going
he's
by
not
the
picking
point
spread. He's picking just straight up. He's
right.
saying Tennessee, Oklahoma's going to get a win at home. He's saying South Florida's going to get a win
at home. But Scott, you brought up a great point about the goalposts.
They can't come down there. NFL goalposts.
They'll freak out. They got a game tomorrow. Is Tampa the Bucks at home?
I don't know. It's gonna be like Smokey and the Bandit now.
Oh,
There's gonna be somebody at Buford's gonna be out there saying, "Now listen up here. I want y'all to put your hands on those goalposts and you just stay there." You just stay there until somebody comes.
Or that's like this busing. Never mind. Hey, Joe, tackle that car.
The only thing missing from our menu yesterday was a Diablo sandwich.
Hey, somebody asked on Facebook this week, give me a line from a movie so I know without a doubt what it is. That's what I said. Give me a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper and make it fast. I'm going to bleep and hurry.
Oh.
But we had something better than a Diablo sandwich yesterday at Dots.
Oh, man, that burger.
Man, come on, man. When you put grease back on top of the burger, it's so good.
She literally took the ladle and scooped grease right back into the burger.
Like I said, Jimmy Lay's already telling me he needs to stop
Bailey,
by.
You don't understand how good it was.
You got to go, man. Jimmy, you got to make it.
You don't understand.
Got to make it on the way, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean,
tell them we sent you.
So now there's two places that we have to stop at en route.
Yeah.
Number one is the Big Chief down there in Glencoe.
I've got to get one of them grape shakes.
The Big Chief in Glencoe is one. And then now Dots has been around forever.
Oh, 50 years.
But yeah, so that's two. So we've got two great places that are no more bigger than the room we sit in to visit for food.
Yeah. And they even let us sit at the bar. I mean, we got A-list
right up
treatment,
there.
man.
They served us. They knew we were coming. They were anticipating our arrival.
Derek had been waiting, and we missed him.
I know. I feel bad.
I hate that.
I do. All right. Let's get a break in. Hey, so last week you felt so confident that Georgia was going to put Fitty on.
Yeah,
Kentucky.
I was wrong on that,
Didn't
Fitty.
happen. Are you going to be wrong about Vanderbilt and Missouri?
Man, I thought Vandy was going to win that game last week.
I know, I do too. I did too. I was hoping.
What's the spread?
It's pretty heavily. I want to say it's in the 20. Is it? It could be in the 20 something against.
Let me look.
I got it right here. It's 20.
20.
20 Missouri favored. Are we wrong about Vanderbilt? Like
I'm not
last
picking,
week against.
I'm
Georgia,
not picking
Kentucky.
Vanderbilt to win this game. It's in Columbia.
It's in Columbia.
No, I can't pick. Missouri has been good, not great so far, but I can't pick Vandy in this game after that turd they laid. Though I will say for Diego, he led him to 32 points. Okay,
it wasn't as bad of a loss as previous
their defense
games.
just couldn't stop them.
They couldn't get that stop when they needed it.
But I don't
the
see him
most.
stopping Missouri. All right, so I could see you said 20, right?
52.5 is the over-under.
42-30 Missouri. I could see Missouri giving up 30 to this bunch, but Mizzou will win this game.
Okay. So Vanderbilt's SEC losing streak continues.
Yeah,
All right.
I would, even if Mizzou even if Vandy had got off the field and won 32-29 over, I would still have about the same kind of pick.
Right.
I don't think it might not have been a 20-point spread, but I would still have Mizzou beating Vandy, especially since the game's not in Nashville. But Vandy blowing that game, I just can't see him defensively being able to stop this Mizzou bunch.
All right, what is going to stop us is the commercial break. We've got to get one in because on the other side, Bob Gonsi will join us. Madison Academy football conversation needs to happen next. Mustangs, fresh off a bye week. They're going to travel, hit the road. Something about Madison County. We love that place.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Heading into our Friday, it looks like we're in the work week, seeing plenty of sunshine, high temperatures warming into the lower 90s for the afternoon. Looking ahead into the weekend, it looks like we'll continue to stay sunny, warming into the low 90s, no rain in the forecast. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
One injury wreck on the board. Bob Wallace and Patton Road had an injury reported 72 in Little Cove Road near Gurley. They canceled Himsey on that one. Everything else from earlier has been clear for a while now. With more than 30 years experience, D&L Refrigeration can save you money on those heating and air conditioning repairs. 256-652-1207. State license 08091. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
The heat is on.
Glenn Fry. The heat is on. I did watch the latest Beverly Hills Cop movie the other day again.
Did you really?
I don't know why, but I did. But anyway, the heat is on for Madison Academy tonight. They're going to travel, take on Madison County, the Tigers. Something about that place in Steve Moulton. He just loves it. Just brings out the best in Steve Moulton. Does Madison County. Just brings out the best in him.
Well, and
they love him there too. So
and the Mustangs are coming off of a bye week. They went into the bye with a 55-0 shutout on the road at DAR. Coach Bob Gotze in his sixth year looking to once again make a deep playoff run. They certainly have faced some adversity early in the season, playing a very difficult schedule against a team in Mars Hill who's one of the favorites in 3A football to win a state championship. And then you look at Randolph. We know how good the Randolph Raiders are. That was a narrow defeat. His team fought valiantly, came down really to one play. And that's how the margins of error can be in football. But they were able to recharge, get healthy, and now they're getting ready for a big run in this second part of the season. And Coach Bob Gotze, thanks to our good friends at Sports Med Media and Spine.
Sports Med Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives.
Scott does it more than I do. So there we go, Scott. Sports Med sponsoring this interview with Coach Bob Gotze, and he's been kind enough to join us in the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline with us now. Coach, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you doing?
We're doing well, Coach. And how did your team respond during a bye? I mean, I know each year you put a schedule together. You don't have a bye a lot of times at the same time. A lot of times schedules are put together and they fall at different times. But how did your team respond during the bye in your mind?
Well, we had a good week. That's the thing about it. I mean, we just got a young team and they're energetic and it's kind of like waking up in a new world every day. But we had a really good week where I felt like we really improved. Our biggest issue, which comes with young teams, is taking the practice to the field on a consistent basis. It's all about the consistency thing. So we're learning about those things. I feel like we're a lot more confident in terms of what we're doing, just because we have some games under our belt. At the same time, it feels like it's been an eternity since we've played. So we're eager to get back out there and kind of see, hopefully the progress that we've made. You mentioned healthy after a bye week, not so healthy, but that's been another thing. It's just part of it is, having guys banged up. We haven't played with the same lineup in a game yet, and won't again tonight. So, but it's just part of it. And, we're learning and getting better, and it's fun. This group is fun. It's a good group, great kids that are working as hard as they can work.
That's the thing, Coach. When you have a young team like that and you do have that early bye week, sometimes if you got a veteran team, it's good to have it towards the end of the year, I'd imagine, because you do get a little bit of rest maybe. But with a young team, you almost get another week. You play a few games, and then you get to teach some more during that bye week. Was it kind of favorable then to have that early bye week?
I think so. I mean, it seems like our bye week is kind of falling in, roughly the same time. But, you worry with a young team a lot of times that, without a game at the end of the week, you worry about them relaxing and hard to motivate them and things like that, during that week. And we didn't face those issues. We practiced really well, I think made some great strides, looking forward to seeing that tonight. That's the big key. We're getting to the point now to where we got to start, making the plays on the field, not just in practice.
And Coach, that's always very important. And then one thing about working with young people, and you've been coaching for nearly 30 years as a head football coach. But one of the things I think that's neat, and it's one of my favorite things about high school football, is the new young players that emerge, that improve, that get better. and that you see kind of blossom. And a lot of times that happens during bye weeks. It happens during the course of a long high school football season. But that's one of the things that's neat when you have a young team is watching kids develop and grow into roles.
Well, that's the best, I guess the funnest part for me, through the years has like you said, watching the players develop. And, we're in a time now, when it comes to sports, to where, especially at, the college level and even on into the pros, the development stage is almost being, overlooked or skipped. So the only chance really now for development, a lot of times, is in high school. But that's the thing for me. I love practice. I love, being with the guys and challenging them and working them and watching them improve and overcome and the excitement that they have, when they feel like they've accomplished or overcome, a particular challenge or hurdle or they're getting better. All right. Also helping them deal with, the challenges and the, anxieties and then the toughness part of having to get better, of keep fighting. And when things aren't going good, I feel like that's a thing that we struggle with in our society. When things aren't easy, we tend to struggle. So, having an opportunity to pour into these young folks to battle through the tough times, because we're all going to face them. It just now, and we're all going to face the different adversities almost daily, and how we handle those obviously depends on the success of that particular day or your life. So that's the fun part for me.
Well, Coach, let's talk about tonight. You come off the bye week. Now you got to get re-going. You got to get the guys re-going and refocused, and it's a trip to Madison County.
Right. I mean, always, as you mentioned, it's Steve's favorite place to play. And
he loves it for some reason.
I don't know what the deal is, but, he just gets so excited. And, it's always a great game, and it's kind of a tough place to play in environment, and to go out there and good rivalry game with Madison, County, Madison Academy, and looking forward to it. And, we got really a tough little stretch right here in our schedule, in a tough overall schedule. So this is week one of a tough run, and looking forward to going out there. They got a big back that is, capable of hurting you at any time. And so we'll have to do a good job of tackling and containing him. And then, be a lot more consistent on offense than we've been so far.
And then, Coach, the head coach is an old face in a familiar place in a way, because Coach Hancock has been around. He certainly was the head coach at Columbia. He did a great job for Michael Jackson as defensive coordinator at Buckhorn. He's been the last several years at Huntsville High as defensive coordinator. So you're familiar with him. But there's also, when you take over a program, there's some change in philosophy, and he's a defensive-minded guy. And so I know – and the line of scrimmage is very important to him. And you talked about the big back, so it's going to be. I'm sure he's going to try to. It'll be a challenge physically for your club.
Oh, 100%. We just have to be better. Once again, I'm looking forward. I think we made a lot of improvements, especially defensively. Even though we're going to be younger over there than maybe we've been in the previous. Previously in the year. So just, looking forward to those challenges. And that'll be a big key of us playing, a lot of us just playing with confidence.
Right.
And that comes with age, hopefully, and also comes with making some plays. So, it's a big key, I think, for us to get things going early. Which team can get things going early, I think is a big key. Going back to the Randolph game, they got things going early. It took us a while to kind of match that, and that's a big key for us. I feel like it's getting started early.
And Coach, I do want to take a circle back a little bit to DAR before you went into the bye. How did you think your team played on both sides of the ball to take some momentum into the bye week, and then, of course, to carry this over after the week of fundamental work against Madison County?
Well, I hope, we can take the successes that we had there that night, we had some big plays. We also had some drives. We had big plays in the kicking game. We had a nice punt return that set up a score. We had a pick six for a score. We had long pass for a score. We had a long run. So I hope we can just take the successes out of that, and build with that confidence. And of course, Madison County is going. They present their own problems, and how we handle that. But I keep going back to I think it's just a big key for us and our maturity as a team is making sure that we get off to a good start.
Absolutely.
And how do you do that offensively? How do you put your guys in position to get into a fast start?
Well, I mean, if I knew that exactly,
I didn't know if there was
money and
assignment.
I didn't
blocking
know if there was
still
like
the
a
blocking
certain
and
thing
execution
that,
to me.
Because coaches
no
tell
matter
us all
what
the
you
time.
call.
Coaches tell us all the time, hey, we got to get off to a fast start. We got to get off to a fast start. Well, I mean, what do you do, or how do you go about putting yourself in position to get off to a fast start?
Well, first off, I just think it's an emphasis thing that you do in your preparation in terms of through the week or in your program all the time about making sure that you're ready to go when practice starts. So it's an emphasis that comes from the top. Now, contrary to that, I guess, or one of the things about that, when you have a young team, that's hard to understand because you're young, you're a little nervous, there's a lot of anxiety, kind of trying to figure things out. So it's hard to go out there with a lot of confidence. So I think it's about. I think it's easier once the season starts, and then of course you get into the playoffs and you get the stresses and anxieties of big games and things of that nature. So it's handling the pressures of life as much as anything to me.
And Coach, I'd have to say, the thing that will be the key tonight is you talked about that fast start, but then just playing good fundamental football. And I think, and you talked about the strides you guys made in the kicking game, making an explosive return, creating turnovers defensively, and then just playing complementary football and being able to offensively cash in those opportunities.
Of course, like I said, our kicking game has been a little bit on the kicking side of a revolving door, since an area where we felt like was going to be a strength, and we had some experience, and an injury took that away early. So we've been trying to play catch up there, and hopefully we have solidified that. But on the return side of it, we have the guys that we should be able to create some advantages there, and we were able to do that. The last time out, hopefully we can tonight. But that'll carry over into the offense. I think just being a little more mature and solidified at quarterback as well helps get off to that fast start.
And I've got
so we'll have both guys back, tonight, and getting in the rotation. But I think just experience goes a long way with fast starts as well.
No doubt. It'll be on Zone 2. It'll be Steve Moulton and Glenn Laird on the call. And Coach, I've got to give a shout out to one of your former players, though. I was just alerted to this last night, and you talk about pound for pound, he was as good a football player as I think you've had in your 6 years at Madison Academy. And I'm very proud for him because in this changing climate of collegiate athletics, things can just dramatically shift. And we were all very saddened by Birmingham Southern, closing in their athletics programs. That a lot of athletes needed to find a place to land. But Mario Brewer, one of your former players, is now at Center College in Danville, Kentucky, playing Division III football. And I was alerted last night he already had 6 sacks from his cornerback spot. What a great story for him, Coach.
Well, like you said, and I think it fits right in with what we're talking about. We're facing challenges constantly. Certainly wasn't something that Mario was looking forward to in the middle of his college career, moving further away from home to have to start over, basically.
Right.
But being the guy he is and the family that he has, the support that he has, you knew it would be handled, and that's simply what he did. And he's kind of playing their star nickel position up there, which he's kind of tailor made for. The only drawback that that Mario Brewer, and it's not a drawback for him.
Right.
The first time I talked to his dad, the first thing he said was, do not let his size fool you or take it easy on him because he is smaller. And it's always been that way. Heck of a competitor, very talented. And it was just a matter of getting in. Those guys were ecstatic to get him. They really wanted him, coming out of high school. And, once again, it's not, surprising to anyone around here that he's doing as well as he is.
Well, we're really very proud of him. And safe travels to Madison County, Coach. Hope you can get another big win for the Mustangs, but always appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure.
Let's get that final break in. Your tomorrow's headline is going to wrap up this week. Coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Had that one wreck at Bob Wallace and Patton that reported as an injury type. Looks like they've just about wrapped it up. And we had 72 in Little Cove Road near Gurley. That one originally reported with injury, but they canceled Himsey on it. It should be just about ready to go. When you join the Heart of the Valley YMCA through the 22nd, they're going to waive the joining fee, and they're offering 10% off on personal training. YMCAHuntsville.org. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
It's the dawning of a new age in Tuscaloosa.
I understand what Alabama football is all about. Roll time.
Join the Crimson Tide as the Kalen DuBois era begins. Touchdown! Join us next Saturday as the Crimson Tide battle the Georgia Bulldogs and the SEC opener at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Our coverage begins at 3:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
You need a lawyer and pick up the phone. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. When you call for a lawyer, where does that phone ring? It might be in a call center somewhere, maybe 100 miles away, but my phone rings in my office.
The Lackey Law Firm.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. My phone rings in my office too.
So does mine. I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. And when you've been hurt and need help, we're here. We're the ones who take your call.
And get what you deserve.
You want to talk to your lawyer. You don't want to reach a call center. With the Lackey Law Firm, that never happens.
The Lackey Law Firm.
And this is the most important part. We'll treat you like family because that's exactly what we are.
The Lackey Law Firm.
And I'll go you one better. If you can't come to us, we'll come to you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
It's It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We talked about the college football game last night.
Right.
Jets do get a win over the Patriots 24-3 in NFL action.
Everybody got them in the
night.
Super Bowl.
And the Atlanta Braves blast their way
Matty
to
O.
a win yesterday as well. So win. Win.
Michael Harris with
is
2
the
bombs.
way.
Soler, they mashed the Reds. Didn't get any help though. The friggin' Phillies choked.
Yep. So there you go. But anyway, let's go out to the phone lines. There's going to be a lot in on AL.com, in, on, around AL.com tonight. It's Friday Night Football. Jimmy Lay with AL.com with us. Good morning, buddy.
Morning. Set the stage for us, brother.
Hey, good morning, guys. Well, it should be dry tonight, and so don't have to worry about bringing tarps or umbrellas or anything like that tonight. So won't be any excuses for anybody out there. But a lot of big games. You got number 1 5A Gunnersville playing Arab. That should be a really good ball game that we'll be looking at.
Yeah.
My buddy Thomas Ashworth will be out there covering that.
Arab beat Gunnersville last year.
They did.
Arab got the victory last year in that series. So that should, to your point, that'll be a fantastic game.
I think they ended up in a 3-way tie last year with them and Gunnersville and Scottsboro, and I think Gunnersville got it because of the tie-breaking system. But also in 4A Region 8, New Hope at North Jackson. This year, a lot of people questioning New Hope, asking, like, are they really this good, scoring all these points? They're going to find out tonight because North Jackson has a really good defense, and you know how tough it is to win out there in Stevenson. We got, you mentioned already Sparkman playing at Joe Davis against Huntsville. That's a big game with playoff, implications. And then let's see, Florence at Bob Jones at Madison City Stadium. That is going to be a big game that neither team can afford to lose that one, having already lost a region game. And of course, I'll be at DAR tonight. I do have to stop at Dots on my way, I think.
There you go.
So much. But the thing is, I can't fill up, though, because DAR has the best steak sandwich you've ever eaten in your life. So we're going to have to
go. You don't have to get the big burger. You can get the little
there's a
burger.
4 ounce and a 6
Yeah,
ounce.
you can get the little burger.
Get the 4 ounce.
And a small shake.
See, we're giving you all these details. We're giving you
Yeah.
all this little stuff. And just tell them Scott and Drew sent you.
Yeah, you don't have to go with the big stuff. You can just get the little one.
I have to take care of my crew on Friday night, so I'll be getting food for Logan tonight too, as I do every week. So he always likes his pretty much plain, just cheese and ketchup. So
They'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget to try the Dot sauce either.
Yeah, get some Dot sauce to go.
I've got some in my refrigerator. I get it to go.
Good deal. My son will be with me tonight, operating the drone for the first time.
Oh, wow! Highfalutin.
Yeah, so we just couldn't find an operator. Finally, I said, "Look, buddy,
should have called Ray.
Step up and start pulling your weight here, and then helping out the family." So he's like, "Well, how much am I going to get paid?" I'm like,
"Child labor,
buddy."
Yeah,
you're getting paid every day of the week. Get to live here.
Yeah, exactly. You got a roof over your head.
Tell him he's getting Dots tonight. He can get an Oreo peanut butter shake. From what we've heard,
he might even get a
fantastic.
3-layer shake if you want it. They'll probably do anything you want.
Yeah.
Well, it should be a great night of high school football, and here we are in week 5. Man, we're almost halfway home in the regular season, so it should be some good games tonight. You guys can read about it on AL.com. Go to the high school section and read all about it.
Thanks, Jimmy.
You. Appreciate it, Jimmy. Safe travels. And safe travels to Thomas Ashworth. I know he's a friend of the
Yeah, he's a friend of the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by the Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware.
There we go.
Boom.
Boom. First he rattled off SportsMed, then he rattles off the scoreboard show. Everybody listen tonight, everyone.
Yeah, go visit Dots today. Tell them we sent you. Tell them we love them. We
may
really
start getting Dot sauce in the mail. Who knows?
Yeah. Next to Uncle Keith.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle.